get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the roads. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah, loves that I'm a goat. They don't want it, yeah, they scared of what I know. Told you the budget, yeah, I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, yeah. A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah, I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. Yeah, I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah. Yeah.
Pull my heart out of my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tear me apart, and watch it burn. Tear me apart, and watch it burn. All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it.
We have been waiting so long for the season to begin.
God damn it, I'm hyped!
No, why would you get off of it? He's gonna come around and get the kill!
Nick Bolster! Oh!
That is a big soul
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the K7 League, and joining me on the desk is going to be Comica here to cover this interesting matchup between Team Veer and Vanguard Gaming.
Oh yeah, Trix, we've got quite the game tonight. We've got V for Veer and V for Vanguard, but which one will be holding the V for victory? That's what we're going to be here to find out.
Yeah, I like your adaptation to what I was saying before the broadcast, yeah. But that's one of those cool things, when you got two casters that are on a similar wavelength like us, we can work off of each other's jokes and our different angles and stuff. And let's see how these two teams actually can work off of each other. Team Veer, a very strong team that was at the top of their group for most of this season so far. They got NK, Gobla, ZDs, and Eon. That's rounding out your top 4 players there for that roster. And they're a tough team to beat, but they finally have been beaten. Right, Comica?
That's right, Trix. They have finally gotten a bloody lip, courtesy of Nola Flight, who is a team that we were starting to worry. They had a tough first match, but then really got right back into it and defeated even the likes of Team Veer, who was undefeated up until that point. And so I believe they are bringing in one roster change tonight, and that is going to be Eons. He's a player that I've seen on another team in the past. I think he was on a Furious Steel at one point, and he was doing a pretty cracked job. I'm not going to lie to you. And so I think he's going to be a solid addition to the squad as well for Team Veer.
100%, right? And well, when we talk about a team like Team Veer, we have to obviously talk about a team like Team Vanguard, who Vanguard Gaming, they're a pretty solid roster themselves. They got TK, they got BMO, Classy, Matty P. We got an interesting little clash of was it TK versus NK, the K or not K sort of matchup that could be happening in front of us here on stream. Vanguard Gaming, where do you have them in this group, Comica? Do you feel like they might have the opportunity to upset this team?
Well, I think there's definitely a potential because they're one of the mid-table teams right now, Trix. They're sort of on the buffer zone of getting into the playoffs or not. If you want to take a look at the standings real quick for their group, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, Team Veer, they are obviously very close to the top. Nola Flight Black obviously going to be slightly overtaking them as they did just defeat them. But you see Vanguard, they are in the middle, just as I said. They're 3-3. So they've been doing a pretty decent job overall, and so Team Veer, especially off this last defeat and making a little bit of a roster change, there is some blood in the water, and Vanguard, they could potentially be that giant killer team.
For sure, and we are getting into that second half of the regular season, so matches like this one here will be massively important for Vanguard Gaming as they continue to push for that playoff spot. They need a win to tie up their record in terms of wins with Lurk Blue and Millennium 7. But from what we've heard of that Millennium 7 new roster, they're continuing to climb that table, and they could be near the top as well. So Vanguard, they're going to need to have to climb past at least Lurk Blue, maybe even Team Veer if they continue to trend down as they have been recently, as you can see the red arrows to the left of their name and their number. But I feel like this really makes for a very interesting matchup. You got two teams that are a bit trending downwards, but I think Vanguard Gaming, I don't think they're a slouch team. They're somebody that we can count out as being a team that could be easily 3-0'd by Team Veer. I feel like they should be able to put up at least a bit of a fight here, and we're hoping for that. And talking about fights, we have an interesting fight going on in that Alpha division. Sorry to say, in the Alpha division as well. I know we don't have any teams here on stream tonight playing from that division, but Comica, this is a fierce division, isn't it?
Oh, it truly is, Trix. You got Main Dogs UGK at the top, then Dawn of Chaos going to be above Team Final Strike. A lot of people, Team Final Strike in second place, including me, but with this recent defeat that they just had up against UGK, they're going to be falling ever so further down the table. CTC Gold still on that spot as well to potentially make it over the line, but we've also got the new threat of Team New Threat down at the bottom, taking the place of the bottom roster. Originally, Team Mist, they didn't have a single pointer map to their name, but as soon as New Threat hopped in at the 0-4 record, they have been climbing the table, and teams have a right to be afraid.
Oh, for sure. New Threat, they're coming for some of those spots. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them come away with a week like this one, potentially with a 2-0, because from what I've heard, their matchups don't seem to be as troubling as what they've been in the past. If they were to have, the final strike of the Dawn of Chaos or UGK this week. So it's a week of veto that could really see them jump up there and rival CTC Gold. It's going to be interesting to see if that ends up being what comes to fruition. But most important thing I feel like that we need to touch on when it comes to this match today has to be those maps, because those maps are going to be what these players are clashing on in this series. It's a best of 5. It's going to start off with a hard point, move on into a search and destroy, a control, a hard point again, and then a search and destroy to finalize everything if we go to that map 5. But Kamika, what are the maps that we see in front of us?
Well, it's some very boring, in my opinion, earth-toned maps. You got Bocage and Tuscan only. It's like you get a burger at McDonald's, but you only want the meat in the bun. It's pretty terrible, in my opinion. But all jokes aside, I expect on these maps to see a lot of gunfights and a lot of meaty fights, I guess you could say. It's going to be pure action all the time, and it's, from a strategic standpoint, Tuscan is the one I'm looking forward to the most. But Bocage, if you like just seeing people killing each other, is definitely a map for you. And if we do get to a final version of it on Search and Destroy, then I think that is going to be a true treat for Bocage.
Yeah, and when I look at these two teams, and for some people they look at it like this matchup could be a bit of oil and water separation. A lot of people have Veer as being the team that should win this one in a 3-0, 3-1 fashion. I feel like if you are Vanguard, coming away with a respawn within the first 3 modes of this series would really be a massive swing in a positive direction for your team. And I'm looking like that's going to be what, to me, swings this one, if any, in direction of Vanguard. So keep an eye on that one, folks. But we're going to be panning on out here, and obviously need to give love to our sponsors that help put on the show. We got Killer Jerky, Get Good Technologies, also known as Get Good Hosts. We got Glitch Energy and Innovated Gear. Yes, Innovated Gear. I always stumble on that one, but there's some great sponsors, right, Kamika? And we're definitely well appreciating that we have them, right?
Oh, hell yeah, Trix. We've had people like Innovated Gear around for a long time. This is a sponsor we've had for years. So big vouch for Innovated Gear, especially Get Good Hosts. A lot of these sponsors we've had for a very long time. It's because we believe in them and the products that they provide. So go on ahead and give them some love right on back. It's a love for love type of situation. So yeah, go ahead and give them some attention while we go to a quick break. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, which V stands for victory? Is it Vanguard or Veer? That's what is going to be decided right here. It will be Vanguard's up and coming and Veer falling down even further, or will Veer continue on their good streak? We'll be back in a minute and find out.
You lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clear my throat. We rise up from the dust and clear my throat. We all have our reasons why we are on this track. Oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. When your nightmares turn to real life and the ground's filled up with landmines, we will face it standing side by side. You know I'll come running when you need. I'm coming. You know I'll come running. If you go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarm and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army. If you go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army.
gotta get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go. We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
and gentlemen, and we are almost back. Unfortunately, we've got some bad news. It appears that some unforeseen things have happened, and Team Veer have been kicking their own butts as they have forfeited map 1, unable to get in the lobby 37 minutes later, and they're being handed out map 1 forfeit. But good news is that they still have a chance to win the series the remaining 4 maps. I am Kamika, and that is for Trix, aka Chase.
Yeah, I had to turn on the gold, the yellow lighting right here, not just because it works with K7, but because, you know, map 1 goes the way of Vanguard Gaming. So congrats on those guys taking that first map victory. I know it wasn't anything super convincing. It was more of a technicality, but hey, you know, for a team like Vanguard who are trying to climb their way, like we said before, into the playoff spot, they could take any map they can get, really, because you never know if your scoreline ends up, or your map and your series win-loss record ends up matching up with a team that's in 4th, and, you know, it comes down to that tie-breaking potential head-to-head and or the tie-breaking map win-loss scenario. So that stuff can be crucial. Same with Veer. Maybe they really shouldn't have been late and then didn't get this map forfeit. I don't know. Ultimately, I did say at the top of the table that Vanguard, for them to really look good to try and take this series, they would need to take a respawn. And, well, they've been gifted one from the gods.
Yeah, they're going to have their respawn already by default, no less. But there have been some issues with Vanguard Gaming as well. They are having to do an emergency pickup and play with their coach instead of one of their final players. We'll get in with more info on that in a second, as we are about to get started in here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Tuscan Search and Destroy, what you've all been waiting for. Let's get in here now.
Yeah, no, the Tuscan's going to be absolutely bloody, I would assume, especially with Veer having lost the first map due to a technicality. I'm assuming they're going to come in here really hot and heavy, looking to try to answer everything up and equal everything up. I'm expecting Veer to take this one in a 6-0 fashion. What about you, Kamika?
It's tough to say. Team Veer, they looked very good in the Search and Destroy, especially up against M7's previous roster, not the current one, that has to be said. And so, going off of those performances, I have to say they looked pretty good in Search and Destroy, but by no means are they invincible. I know that Vanguard Gaming, they have a lot of experience in, say, the CCL. I believe they represent Clemson, and so I'm sure that they get a lot of experience in the reps in Search and Destroy there as well.
Yeah, and, well, Team Veer, they do have one of the strongest players in the entire K7 league, I think, statistically, with Gobla. And Gobla does find the first blood as well onto Astral. The trade happens near to the right side of the map and the middle of the map as well. And the flurry of action just continues to unfold with Gobla as your player on focus and your player on the POV here, trying to find this player over by P5 and won't. It's going to be number 8 in Rohamis, who's able to get away scot-free.
Does get away for the moment, but you still got Team Veer with 3 people left alive and basically no time to get the defuse. You're just trying to get some kills to round out this round, I guess you could say. He is going to get beaten down, however, lost in the sauce of Team Veer, and he will be getting clocked in the noggin. So Team Veer, despite the fact that they are 1-0 down in the series, looking to clap back instantaneously in the Search and Destroy.
Yeah, punching the guy's lights out, so to speak, right? But not the round. The round itself does go their way, but not the entire map yet, as Team Veer still has a mountain to climb here, and it is only one round in their favor. Teams are going to be starting off this one on the opposite sides that they had to start things off on that first round. So round number 2, we will see the side of Team Veer on the defense and the side of Vanguard Gaming on offense. And this is an offensive-sided map, wouldn't you say, Kamika?
It definitely can be. Oh my goodness, though. Already we see Eons from Team Veer doing nasty, nasty work trying to come around the flank, though, is going to be NK. He's literally gotten right into the pathway of Matty P. He does kill the flanking player, but mid-map control, it's still in the hands of Team Veer. They will be able to pinch him out. So now it's just going to be on Rojam. Bomb down, 50 seconds left, and can definitely still make a play out of this, Trix, I would say.
Oh, for sure. Rajamies can definitely find a kill or two, puts it in a lot better of a perspective and position. The bomb does, however, need to be planted here. So ZD's going to be just looking to get that middle of the map control. NK is going to be playing through Church and maybe up to catch anybody that could be by B. But we know that last player in number 8, Rojamies, he's still chilling over by A. He's going to find that bomb. He's going to look to try to get it planted, and nobody notices him planting yet. Now number 3 should swing out and find the body and find it for a free kill right there, like a sample at Costco.
Yeah, Team Veer still getting the rounds into their favor. I was a little bit concerned by the fact that they fully rotated away from the bomb. It appeared, Tricks, that they didn't quite know that they had actually gotten it down, hence why would they rotate away from it. And so, if it had been picked up a little bit quicker by the Vanguard Gaming team, I think that could have been something that went a little bit more in their favor. But unfortunately for them, Team Veer, they realized very quickly with his hesitancy that it's not going to be going down at B. They just rotated back on over, caught him planting, and it was as simple as that.
Yeah, as simple as that. And, well, so far, these 2 rounds that have gone the way of Team Veer, they've sort of looked simple, and this one here is starting to look the most simple, as Hamies is left in a 1 versus 3 situation by that B site all alone, and he will drop, but he does get a trade kill. So at least something useful came from his tricky position, and now Eons should take out the last player in quick and methodical fashion. There you go. Team Veer 3-0 up. It's looking very, very, very clean from them.
Yeah, and one of the major reasons for that is not just because they're being so aggressive and able to basically envelop their opponents, but it's also because, I hate to call people out, Tricks, but Vanguard Gaming, they're leaving massive gaps open in their defense. Literally, Gobble was able to get up inside of Church without any contention whatsoever. That's not your 50-50 position. That's your home third, and you need to make sure that nobody is getting in there without at least getting spotted at the very least, if not shot.
Yeah, massive start to the search and destroy for Eons, that player you said making a debut potentially for this Team Veer side. Has already a 6-1 record in the S&D, and we're only into round number 4. Player on pace, I think, to maybe, just maybe, topple the record that already exists in the league from a NOLA Flight player, previous player in Outlaw, while Gobble and Eons will find kills right there. Going to put Team Veer in a more than needed favorable position.
Roham needs to do some serious work here. Oh, they actually go away from much to his, I guess to his benefit, but unfortunately at the same time, Cosmic's not really in a great spot to do some damage here. You've got Roham trying to come through the middle of the map. He does get one, and there's a good possibility for a trade here. Cosmic, he does get it, and now it's all on him versus the one man you don't want to go up against in this lobby right now, Tricks. It's him versus Eons, 19 seconds. He's got to find him, gets up inside the church, and Cosmic, 14 seconds to do something amazing.
But Eons finds the right timing himself. Cosmic caught between a bomb and a window and needs to try to get the plant down. Doesn't even go for it. Now plays for the kill. The time is ticking, and it looks like Team Veer will be sticking this round to the side of Vanguard. That's going to be 4-0 right now. And my 6-0 prediction might have looked a bit ballsy at the beginning of this one. Starting to look like it's going to happen.
It's looking very likely at that, Tricks. I feel like Team Vanguard are playing with a little bit without conviction right now. You see Roham, he was so afraid to go and plant that bomb because he knows that he's going up against Eons. They're definitely in their heads, Team Veer. They put the fear of themselves into their opponents, for sure, and it's visible.
Yeah, Jamies is doing a decent job right now and trying to hold off this B site. There was a player over by P5. That player will not aggress forward, but Zadie's finding a kill onto Cosmic. That's the coach, I believe, of Vanguard Gaming, if I'm correct there. Orbstral alive and trying to maybe find an answer. Won't find anything yet, as Matty P, Orbstral, and Rohamies left in that 3 versus 4 on a crucial round number 5 here.
Yeah, Team Veer, they've got a pretty good setup overall. Someone even watching for the flank. But Z is getting caught a little bit high and dry, as well as NK walking right up to him and shooting him in the side of the head. You hate to see it. And Astro might be able to get another one here. Unable to fully get the finish on the kill, but goes into the path of Rohamies and does take him down. But Eon's in a prime position to do some damage. And he's going to run down the clock. Anyone trying to go for it, he might be able to seal the deal on this one. And he will, even in his death. Matty P does not have enough time to get this defused. So Team Veer will be leaving with their 5th round win, as well as some streaks.
Man, oh man, it's looking like a snooze fest on the side of Vanguard Gaming. Ro Jammies is getting his jammies on right now, ready for the bedtime, as right now, the side of Team Veer are really putting them to bed here on this map, kissing these princes goodnight here as we get into this 6th round. Could be the final one as well. The nail in the coffin. And Eons, man, 9-2. He has been relentless.
Yeah, Tricks, it's like we're in Lord of the Rings. Vanguard Gaming need the Riders of Roham to come in and save them from Team Veer right now, dude. It's not looking good. Roham and Astral, there you go, 2 in a row, but you've still got Goblet taking down Cosmic, getting first blooded once again. It's not stopped, but for once, Team Veer are going to be getting traded out effectively. Zeddy's going to be on the flank, and he's not looking to blow his cover just yet.
Oh, but he does right there with those shots. Surely somebody chows him. No egos being checked right now. As Astral, he'll just stay kaput in the back. Matty P will catch the player mid-map, and Vanguard Gaming get around on the board and shut down my 6-0 prediction. But still, nonetheless, feel oh so pressured here in the Search and Destroy as they have to get an elusive S&D round 11 reverse sweep to go their way to win this map.
Yeah, it's quite literally the most difficult position to be in for a Search and Destroy. I have seen teams come back from positions like this before, but they were under much different circumstances, and they were some pretty high-level teams. These teams, I don't know. It's really hard to say if they're close in skill level yet or not, Tricks, because all we're seeing in the Search and Destroy, which Team Veer has been shown to be good in, but we haven't seen a respawn from Vanguard yet, so we don't even know if they have that going for them. This next map, I'm going to say, is going to be telling, for sure.
Well, for sure, yeah, and we see right now it's just an absolute wipe in the feed for Purple as they get their supremacy over by B, except for maybe number 8 in Ro Jamies. The Riders of Rohan, only one left. The Lone Wolf will find a kill. That's 2 on the round. Devoured by Rohamies, looking for another one. Snapped onto the head, but does not find the player dead. He himself falls to the ground like a ragdoll. Just put in the bin. That is a 6-1 and a tied up game now going into that control when you look at the maps here at being 1 apiece.
Sad. I really thought that Rohamies was going to be able to get something going there. I thought he was at least going to be able to get NK and then have the 1v1 situation there, but obviously the situation for Team Vanguard was not looking the greatest. They would have had to do the full sail and in order to defeat their opponents, not lose a single round, win 6 in a row. It's one of the hardest things to do in Call of Duty, as I said earlier. So, and the first game of actual play, we're going to be seeing another Team Veer victory, as a lot of people probably would have expected with their Search and Destroy prowess. Yeah,
it's definitely what I kind of expected, and well, I'm getting a little bit of correction info from one of the people when it comes to Vanguard. And it's going to be that Maddie and Cosmic, they are the main roster members. And it looks like Jam or Rohamies and Astral are the 2 that are subbing in here to fill for 2 other players that couldn't be here for the match here. So once again, something else to note when you come into a Search and Destroy, such a strategic game mode that it is, if you're having players that are less experienced and less, how do you say it, strategized up with the other 2 players, it's going to be tough. Your timings are going to be off, and your team's going to get pulled apart like pulled pork, at a barbecue. So that's that Search and Destroy. We say it like it's the first map of the series, but it isn't. It's the second one. The first one got forfeited. But now we'll have our first respawn on stream. That will be this control, and really, I feel like it's going to tell who's going to come out on top in this series, because if Vanguard Gaming can't put up decent numbers slaying wise to compete with Team Veer, who already show that they can outslay and Search and Destroy, like play fast rounds like that without much resistance, I don't know what they're going to get away with here in this coming Tuscan for the control, right?
And that is the fear for me right now, Trix, is the fact that Team Veer was able to so easily break through anything that Vanguard Gaming had set up. And so they're probably going to be in a similar frame of mind, like, oh, they couldn't do anything to stop us at any moment in the Search and Destroy. So let's try and do the same thing in the control, try and even further whittle down their resolve to defeat us in this game, and make this loss that we got early on by default a non-factor. They're going to try and get the lead back right here, right now, and I'm sure they're definitely feeling like they can do it.
Oh, for sure. And you are playing on the same map that you literally just won the previous map. So for Team Veer, there's also that going for them as another sort of potential plus sign to look at. But here we go. It's the start of this one. It's going to be Team Veer getting full control of this A point with only the util to try to resist them. And it just isn't working here. It's too passive of a setup. And the Team Veer Cats have just pounced on such a great opportunity there.
Once again, little to no resistance coming out from Vanguard Gaming. It's unfortunate. Team Veer, they're playing right into what their opponent's greatest fears. They're running right up on them. Vanguard Gaming, they're looking very shattered and away from each other. And when you're going up against players of this caliber, it's not really going to be working out. You need to work as a team if you're going to be looking to get this one going in your favor. Vanguard Gaming, even if you lose this round, just hit the reset button because, again, Tricks, look at how divided these guys are from each other. Not a single common head glitch shared. And so Team Veer, they can piece these guys apart very easily.
Oh, for sure. And now you have Eons. He's going on his own little tear. The devil he is. Playing the point, playing players in such passionate ways. He is, by definition, pushing P when he is on the map in this mode and out of it.
Oh my goodness. Vanguard Gaming, this is such a massacre. I cannot believe this. 10K now on the streaks. We've got 2 streaks already for Team Veer, and they've gotten 2 ticks. They haven't really stopped capping the entirety of this game. Astral and the guys still trying to get them out of their spawns. We've got Matty P coming around the back. He does instantly get sussed out by Gobbler. He's aware of his tricks. He's already figured out his opponent in Vanguard Gaming. You gotta try something new. Team Veer got you figured out to a T.
Man, and that right there, I feel like just, if I am any Vanguard supporter, my head is really deep into my hands there. If you lose this opening round, when your team had defense on a map that this is out of the 2 control maps, this is the most defensive sided control map. And you just gave that up super easily. Your first round, you lose it. Sure, the A point, you lose pretty quickly and pretty easily, but that B point is really easy. Much more easier to secure if you are the team on defense. And so Team Veer right now, they're going to look to play that out just that way, but unfortunately they're being met by a really decent play coming out of Vanguard Gaming with their aggression of sending everybody to B, but the answers have now finally came through with NK and Eons.
Yeah, just the reckless abandon at which Team Veer pushes in is something that we're not seeing out of Vanguard. They gave Team Veer a lot of time to set up after that. They're not pushing as a full unit. They kept someone around the back, which I agree with, but you can have that same area be covered closer to the rest of your teammates. I feel like Vanguard Gaming, they're playing a little bit too afraid, trying to make it so that they're not the one that's making mistakes on an individual basis, but they need to, I guess, sort of get that out of their heads. They need to come together as a group instead of trying to stay alive as individuals, trying to keep your teammates alive, man.
Yeah, they need to collaborate together, and I think really it's you got to look at them like they have to collaborate around Astral right now, who seems to be doing the best. 8 and 8. You got 1 and 7. Matty P pulling the good old Germany and Brazil out right here with that KD. And when it comes to Team Veer, it's just nothing but the side of Vanguard Gaming in their rear here, with NK going 12 and 3 right now in his KD. This is clinical.
Not a single tick on the board for Team Vanguard. This is the epitome of clinical gameplay, Tricks. Look at where NK is. He is in his opponent's home third. They should have that position by default, but they are getting beaten so bad, and NK just sliding into the DMs of Cosmic there, taking everything he wants. And I think we missed an assassination from Goblin Rohamis, but mad props to him for getting that. This is the one last chance for Vanguard Gaming. They got 2 people on the objectives, 1 person covering mid, and Astral able to get a kill onto Eons. This might be a good hold coming out in the making for them.
Oh, it is, but 2 big kills from NK, the man that's been pretty worrisome and troublesome. But Astral's 2-piece response, along with Matty pushing P himself, he will be able to get himself the 2-piece, hold the point, continuing to stay in the orange. And there you go, Vanguard Gaming, they're finally able to capture the point. They do add another minute to the clock for them to work with, but this life disparity is quite gruesome.
We missed another assassination from Gobla. Unfortunate, but he's got 2 2 on the night, 1 on Rohamies and 1 on Matty P. You hate to see it, but what you do love to see is that Vanguard Gaming are now starting to put up a little bit of a fight, although Team Veer, I feel like they're starting to not take this match as seriously. 30 seconds remaining, and Eon's just walking right up behind Cosmic in full view of Astral and taking his lunch money. Not a single bit of help being given. You hate to see it. Vanguard Gaming now completely out of lives, totally bankrupt from lunch money and lives. And so Team Veer, oh my goodness, they're looking to take this map hand over fist.
When you said bankruptcy, it immediately just, I don't know why, it gave me the most PTSD I've ever had when it comes to Monopoly. I think I played a game a few days ago, and it just reminded me of all that, and that's exactly how Vanguard's feeling through these last 2 maps, it's seeming. Even though they were handed quite a nice little loan of that first map, technical victory for them in that opening, what was it? Was it Bocage or was it Berlin? Something of that sort for the hard point. But we got Tuscan that's just been absolutely wiping in the favor of Team Veer.
Yeah, this is still incredibly dominant. Zeades winning another big gunfight in the middle of the map, and look at this. Eon's up in their business once again. NK killing the person that Eon's was trying to kill, and they've gotten themselves a lot of space once again. Vanguard Gaming push back in their home area, and NK can peek around this corner, make sure that it's very hard for them to push back into that same defensive spot. Once again, Zeades looking to come right through the middle of the map, is going to get denied that time. Vanguard Gaming starting to adapt at least somewhat, but is it going to be enough tricks? Team Veer looking very similar to how they did the last time. Lives are a little bit closer, but they still capture the A objective without getting broken once in record time. It's
just Team Veer, they're able to assert that dominance over by A so well.
Oh my god.
They are the alphas here. They walk into spawns and take full control of whatever part of the map they feel. Like, if you would have thought Vanguard Gaming would have had a home court advantage for playing on Vanguard Call of Duty, that's not the case at all. This is Team Veer who's looking to take the victory royale in this series, and at least, man, in this control here in this round.
Things are starting to stabilize. They do finally find Zeades on their tank, so they won't be spawning on opposite ends of the map from the objective now. And Team Veer, they did take quite a while to get to the objective, so Vanguard Gaming, they're still going to be allowing Team Veer some time to get in some setup positions. But Team Veer, they don't really have a whole lot of time to do this either. Oh, Zeades, though, going to make things incredibly hard for Vanguard Gaming with those 2 kills, but Eon's going to make it hard for his own team with that TK.
Oh yeah, the TK. While off on the side, NK went on a bit of a streak before getting dropped. Rohami's up top plat, gonna look to find something as he holds that bicycle close to his chest. As Astral gonna be holding down the church. Looking to lock that one down, hold any demons at bay. But the demons are nowhere in sight near there. Astral drops, Zeades finds a free pick on him, but everybody in purple really working their way around that B point, find themselves a second tick of progress, and oh boy, Comica, we're seeing this one go by lightning quick.
It really is. NK gonna get a little bit contested here. It's Rohamies. Who else gonna hop on for the contest? But it's not enough trades at all, Tricks. They only killed 1, and they need to get all 4. Team Veer marching their way to a 2-1 scoreline. Still technically haven't lost a map up. Well, they technically have, I should say, but they haven't actually lost a map yet.
The side of Team Veer haven't lost a round of any mode in the last. They've lost 1 round in the last, 10 rounds of control and search combined. Yeah. That's dominance on a silver platter right there. As Team Veer continue to march commandingly towards a victory here, it looks like, in this one. As we got coming up next, the final Tuscan map in this best of 5. Going to be hardpoint as well. That's map number 4. And I really don't think that there's much benefit to really give in terms of the doubt or whatnot towards Vanguard Gaming going into this one. I feel like it's... like, for Vanguard Gaming, I feel like they've got to set up small goals, like trying to just break past 50 points.
Yeah, I think their first goal should be to try and trade out one of your teammates. It's been tough, Tricks. They haven't really been together. I can't really say it any other ways than that. They've been on an individual basis. They haven't been on common headies where they can easily slide out and get the trading kill. That's what the major thing you need to work on for Vanguard Gaming, especially in a respawn mode where trades are the name of the game when you're trying to get time, when you're trying to get control over the control points. It all really does add up, especially there at the end. Team Veer, they were able to slide out and not just, trade each other out, but they prevented each other from dying on top of that. So, yeah, Team Veer, that's been a major difference that we've been seeing so far in Vanguard. They gotta follow suit, otherwise they might be seeing themselves out of the series very soon.
Yeah, and so from our understanding, and it completely makes sense in my eyes, really, with the fact that this team's been getting dusted and swept under the rug pretty easily. Team Veer will take the win here in this series. It's going to be an FF for map 4. The side of Vanguard Gaming, I think they've had enough of it. They have 2 subs that are in here, unfortunately, that they've been playing this series out. I know maybe some of my commentary could have been a bit aggressive towards them. I'm hoping they're not feeling that. It's really just lightheartedness. But Vanguard Gaming, man, they showed up. They got 1 map to go with their record. They take 3 losses, but at least that's one thing that you can smile a bit about when you do go off into the sunset before next week's new batch of matches come around. But Team Veer, I feel like we got to pop up those players once again and kind of crown our series MVP here in Comica. Who would you say would be your player to pick?
Gotta be Eons, especially from that search and destroy. He was destroying everybody he came into contact with on multiple accounts. He is a solid addition to this Team Veer roster. That's got to be him. It's got to be him. Yeah,
without a doubt, I have to agree with you on that one. I do think Gobla is a bit of a strong name to put out there as well. NK really showed himself to be pretty valuable for the team when it came to this control as well, having some standout moments, standout rounds. But overall, I think we're going to give it over to Eons, the man, the myth, the legend himself, for what he was able to do today on the maps and modes that we had on stream here in this best of 5 series that just seemed to be of a 3-0 nature. But Comica, final words here, closing out the last series, I believe, here for the Bravo division of the week. What are your thoughts about this division now, having known about some of this information of this match's outcome, as well as some of the other stuff that's gone on behind the scenes off stream?
Yeah, I do want to give a little bit of credit to Vanguard Gaming. I know that we were taking them apart quite a lot in that game because of all the mistakes that they were making, but I do want to say that a root cause of a lot of those mistakes were the fact that they were playing with people that they don't normally play with on their roster, and that, yeah, they might be doing good on an individual basis, especially Rohami's. For a coach, he's pretty freaking cracked. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tricks. But yeah, even so, like you're not used to playing with these other players, and usually you have someone that's covering a different spot. And I feel like I could definitely see that from Vanguard Gaming. There were a lot of gaps open in their defense that Team Veer just ran straight on through, and they probably couldn't adapt fast enough with just how fast these rounds were going. And so I would definitely love to see these teams play again when they're both at full strength, and that would be a good show of how good these teams truly are. But unfortunately, Vanguard Gaming, that is sometimes how things go, and you can't get your full team in. So Team Veer will be kicking them down, and I would say a little bit of a crucial match going into the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, it actually is I think the second time these teams will have matched up, because this is set in the second half of this week, which would be the eighth match of the season, and so it's 7 matches per half that each team has, essentially, so 1 per other team in their group. So this would be that last match that they get against the side of Team Veer before they maybe eventually play them in playoffs, if Vanguard does make it that deep and that far. For me, if we could just get that list of the Bravo side of things popped up, I'd love to point out to you guys just what some of the crucial matches we're looking at for Vanguard Gaming. You know, I'm looking at that Lurk Blue one as being probably the most crucial one, if not, you know, maybe the one against Millennium 7. Any map you can scrape off of these teams in the top 3, Nola Flight, Millennium 7, and Team Veer is going to be huge. We already saw them scrape one off of Team Veer. But that Lurk Blue one, you have to win that one. It's important for the head-to-head to try to even things out, because I feel like Vanguard might have dropped a series already to Lurk Blue earlier on. So I'm assuming that, yeah, the Lurk Blue rematch is going to have to be a huge one for Vanguard Gaming in terms of the implications for them to make it within that top 4. But Millennium 7, Team Veer, and Nola Flight Black, man, those are some really interesting names to really throw about when you look over at that alpha side. I feel like a few of those teams might give some run for their money for the other teams remaining in the conversation of that top 4 there. You got New Threat, a team that could maybe still make it into that top 4 if they can get past CTC Gold. Even CTC Gold, if they make it in that top 4, I feel like they would be a team that would have a run for their money up against the likes of Team Veer, the side of Nola Flight with Copy Jr. and Lightning. That's a nasty duo right there. And then even the Millennium 7 group, that's the foursome that took down Censor's team in an unfortunate situation and scenario back a few cups ago. But Comica, man, I feel like these groups are really starting to heat up as we get into the second half of the season.
I feel like we're definitely starting to see what teams are going to be in first and second at the very least in each group, Tricks, but the third and especially the fourth places in each group are heavily up for debate. You've got New Threat in this group trying to break in over all the teams in front of them, including CTC Gold, who they defeated in their last game. And you've also got in the other group Vanguard. Back in the context of Vanguard, it's a tough match to lose, and they will have to go up against a team that did defeat them in the first week's worth of matches. It was week 3 that they went up against Lurk, and it was Lurk that they will have to beat. They lost 3-1 against them the last time, and they'll have to change that around this time. What it takes in order to change that, I don't quite know. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get to see that game, but I will definitely go back and watch it if I do find myself casting that one, so I can give them some a little bit of insider tips.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it seems like New Threat's roster is no longer the dominant roster. Is no longer going to be staying with them. It's something that I kind of forced. It's something that I kind of I first saw happening. I'm not sure if New Threat is searching for a new roster or if that roster is going to stick around and just go under a new name. It's going to be one of those two things that ends up happening. I know that roster has been being loaned out quite a bit from Trivac. It's that hidden season roster with 04, Hope, and Llama. It's a pretty solid roster, I have to say, from what I've heard, from what I've seen. And I think they could definitely do some damage in all these other leagues. It's unfortunate that we part ways with them in this situation. It was so brief that we had them in here as well. But appreciation nonetheless for them doing what they did in their time here.
Yeah, and I'm sure that CGC are going to be feeling really bad that they're one of the only teams that had to go up against them before they went out. That's an unenviable position.
More like lucky.
Way, man, I mean,
more like lucky.
Way, you're lucky
because they're no longer in here, right? Because now like CTC can sigh relief knowing that they're not in here. Or wait, the same roster is playing the rest of the season or not? Or okay. So the FBI guy finally got that answered for me. Okay, awesome.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, these are all stories for other days. The league is still continuing to unfold. We got roster mania. We got crazy stuff happening every day. So make sure you guys go ahead and drop some follows for the league on Twitch as well as on Twitter. K7 League on Twitter, on YouTube. We post all the matches there when they're done so that they don't get deleted forever a few weeks later on Twitch. If you want to see the previous matches of any season in the past, including this one, you can go there, K7 on YouTube. K7 League, and go ahead and follow them on Twitter for all the updates. If you're in the mood for following people, go ahead and give Vanguard GG some love, as well as Team Veer, and me and Trix, Comica_18, and Caster4Trix on Twitter. That's been pretty much all we have for you guys tonight, and on the way out, we want to give a quick thank you to our sponsors, Trix.
Yeah, we got Killer Jerky, who make a killer jerky. We got Get Good Technologies, Get Good Host. They were in the lobby grabbing all of our awesome stats for these teams. Awesome stats for Team Veer today. We got Glitch Energy, who bring energy in a glitching way in a drink form. And then we got Innovated Gear, who I didn't stumble upon this time when saying they do great things with their apparel. And we love working with them through multiple years. while we both have been in office. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's awesome. We're done for the night. That's it. Head out, enjoy yourselves, and peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks, welcome to K7.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh,
First kill there by Kill. The frags rolled on the second is going to be big. Rejects is there. Now Dassin trying to make a play. Will go for one. Tries to free fire onto the second from behind. Here comes Atomic for two.
this is what we know. Here we come back to life, still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna
Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Shifty here, joined by Alex McCormish. Hey, are you ready for this?
It's time, baby. Kill it back to the middle of the map. Rejects gonna slide out.
Goes in, slays people out, especially with the atomic on it.
Sure, Hawaii on the staircase. Actually gonna get killed by a reject there. You already see Killa back over towards the top house by Team 2.
We have been waiting so long for the season to begin.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.